question.
I wanted to talk about episode 5 so much.
All right, we'll talk about that in a sec. Has anyone ever told you like? So sometimes I feel like, yo, am I funny or not? Right? So I ask them like, yo, they're like, so a guy's like, yo, your podcast, mad jokes. I'm like, oh, you think I'm funny? He's like, nah, not really. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, like you're funny, but you're not funny. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? He's like, you say a lot of dumb shit that makes me laugh at how stupid you are. And I was like, oh, so does that make me funny or
He's made you into character.
he's
Hold
like
on,
here,
who the hell listens to this show that gives you feedback?
everyone.
Really? Is it positive or is it you guys should stop?
The fact that they still listen, I feel like we're enough of a time pass that they enjoy hearing us pass their time because they're like, well, that was 1 hour we weren't really going to do anything else with.
Yeah, we're the Time Pass podcast. That's fine.
That's fine. Time pass? That should be the name.
Yo.
Just talking? Well, what's the show about? It's about nothing. It's about nothing.
Just want these guys to know you got another thing coming, bitch. I'm still around.
I think we got the name.
There was this viral video that went viral a few weeks ago. I don't know if you guys saw it. The one with the Bhangra kid who got rejected by.
Yeah, you met that kid.
Yeah. So I ended up meeting the kid, and then he put a
Oh,
YouTube
that
video.
that kid, the one
Yeah,
trying to like
We
do something?
talked
Yeah.
about it. We talked about him on the
Yeah.
podcast, and this guy made a whole video on like that whole situation. Like the whole thing was staged more or less
Okay.
for a YouTube video, and I'm like, yeah, it's dope. He's telling me about it when I talked to him, and then he put out like his production videos, like a 30-minute video on the whole saga. And this guy took clips from all the people hating on him and like commenting on it, and some were podcasts and some were like other people. We didn't make the cut. My tweet about it didn't make the cut. This podcast episode that we didn't make the cut. I was like, holy shit, we didn't make the cut. I'm like, we're not viral enough to get. Yeah, I'm like, we're not viral enough to make the cut on hating on people yet. We're not big enough haters.
We need one guest. That's it. We get one good guest. That'll be it.
We had the Russian guy, man.
No, like a guest that the community knows. Like, why the hell would this guy go on their podcast? And that's it.
Here's a problem. I don't like half the people that I think are big in the community like that. Like, who the fuck in the community is bigger than us? Come on.
Yeah, I sent you guys a video. Did you watch this already?
Which one?
It's on WhatsApp.
I'm not gonna open up WhatsApp right now, man. All right, yo, quick question. How'd you guys like Kenobi?
Wait, you started already?
Yeah, I gotta start in conversation. That's how we always start.
How
the fuck they
Sound check.
Yo.
F this. We're doing sound check.
Yeah,
Yo.
do sound check.
Do sound check.
Do all the checks before
Yeah.
we start talking. I'm not dealing with that anymore.
We did
Yo,
sound check last week.
what's my level?
No.
Wait,
Do testing. One,
All right,
2, 3.
all right.
Make sure we're recording.
Introduce yourselves first, then.
First, watch that video. It's hilarious. Just
I don't
watch
have
the
my-
video.
My phone's
If
not
you
on.
haven't seen it, watch it. Just watch
I-
it. Randy will get.
You're like such a fucking uncle. You're like 2 weeks old with this shit.
Hold
Oh my
on,
God.
buddy. This Brampton fuckboy. This
Yeah,
is
it's so
literally
funny.
something I was forwarding around 2 weeks ago. Where are you?
I just caught up on that one group right this. But yo, this
So
guy really
bad.
did that at a wedding. Yo, if you
Yo,
fuck with
man.
my sister, we're
I
gonna
would get
fuck you up.
shitted. I would get shitted if I did that.
Yo, this guy's licked. You know his jokes is his brother standing right beside him, and he's like pouring the liquor. He's like, oh.
I didn't get a chance to say shit, but oh,
These guys suffer from such social anxiety that they gotta get like rehammer so hard. just to,
That's a video when you look back, like, oh my god, why did I do that?
man.
yeah, 10 years later.
I
No,
honestly,
that's 3 years. I'd say 3 years.
that's one of those videos that you really gotta question what family you're marrying into at some point.
Yeah, there must be that seems like an age gap. I'm hoping there's a big age gap there.
I don't know, man. I think some
I
people
hope.
just
And
aren't.
then like he'll be like going on Jawaka. He's probably 17.
Nah, man. He's probably 32.
That's fucked.
Swear to God.
So no, 32 actual age, 17 Brampton age, right? That's in Brampton years. It's 17.
I don't think that's Brampton. I think that's Surrey. I thought that was Surrey.
That's
Is it?
That had a West Coast umliness to it.
Yeah. Yo, even that there's like a lot of random hate we get. Let me just fucking be concise. You guys saw that video of that carjacking in Milton at the gas station?
Yeah.
No, I'm so behind on this stuff.
Man, we gotta
Go
start
ahead,
sharing. All right, you know what?
explain
From
it.
now on, I'm gonna make sure every
Share
forward I
all
get goes to
videos?
this group to you.
Robbie, yeah.
Robbie's so
bad.
behind. Because I remember another friend was like,
I've actually left a lot of those uncle groups, to be honest with you, because like
Yeah,
that shit would pop up at work.
You need to
So
know
I get it
what's
later.
happening.
I get it through the person who gets it 2 weeks later as well. Like, oh, that's
Man.
funny.
I usually get
Anyways.
it the day of whatever happened. Like, yo, this just happened a few hours ago. Check this out. And I'm like, yeah,
So
that's
you
cool.
so, so you guys are more uncles than me then.
No,
This
man.
is not
This is,
uncle. It's like younger. We're the younger crowd.
we're in
You're
the
the uncle for not knowing
yeah.
this. You did some uncle shit by sending us a video that's 2 weeks old and thinking it's current and funny.
No, I didn't say it was current. I just said it was funny. I didn't say like,
It
oh,
was
this
funny.
just happened. It's just funny.
Did you see the Brampton version of that?
No.
I feel like sending you that. Run, you know which one I'm talking about, right? It's this one guy who's doing his Instagram story. He's licked, and he's just
Yeah.
making an Instagram story. And he's like, yo, they call me Bottle Banes, yo. My fucking parents, yo. Fucking parents, fuck them, yo. Oh, I got married because, you know, they wanted... I did it for their idiot. Not even theirs. Fuck their idiot, yo. My brother's idiot. That cheap bastard, fuck. This guy's
Was that
so
like
licked.
a viral thing? Was that viral?
It went viral. I think it's for Instagram story gets downloaded and sent to us. That's viral.
Fair.
Because people put in the effort to download that shit off Instagram.
Fair. That's fair.
And
So
this guy's like,
basically, I gotta up my game. In other words, right?
yeah, but this guy's like, and I'm just watching this video and I'm like, you just became a fucking meme, son.
No, he's not that famous yet.
He's a meme. I'm gonna make that shit when
I don't know who he is, so he's not famous.
you'll find out after. It was kind of because one of my friends messaged me. He's like, "Yo, current kid slang's so dumb." He's like, "What the hell does base mean?" I'm like, "We're the generation that came up with the word next and still. I don't
Still.
think we have a right to judge people's vocab."
That's bussin' for real, for real. I
Yo,
know a
it's
little bit.
based. Yeah, everyone was commenting on. Did you guys see that? Talking about viral videos, you see the video of the RCMP officer going ham doing Gatka in Winnipeg?
I am so out of this. What?
No, even I don't know this.
Winnipeg Nagar Kirtan. The Nagar
did it
Kirtan is
now?
going on. They had a Nagar Kirtan a few weeks ago, and it wasn't a Vazaki Nagar Kirtan. It was like a Shahidi but Nagar Kirtan. And one of the officers was a Singh Sardar. He pulls up, grabs two kirpana, and goes ham like he's knows everything, right? He's got the full pantra. He's sick, and everyone's like, "Yo, this is so base." And then someone's like, "Yo, what the hell does base mean?"
Whoa. What the hell does base mean?
You really don't know what base?
BA,
I don't know. Like basic?
No, BASED. Like this is based.
Oh, like based, like that's amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. Talk about fucking boomers, man. I'm that old guy
You're
living with
aging
the.
yourself.
Yeah, you're so out of it.
How long? How long has base been around? I'm sorry.
Bass been around a
Based
while,
around
man.
for a while, yeah.
The bass
Is
god.
it? I don't talk to kids, so there you go.
You're
You don't
on the
listen to.
internet.
All right, man. All this on the internet talk. How'd you guys want to guys talk about Kenobi, or you want to save
Yes.
that till at the end?
That's we'll get to it.
Let's do it.
Get to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we didn't talk about episode 5.
That's because you weren't
Well,
here.
you weren't here.
Yeah, but you guys could have talked about it.
Did you listen
Yeah,
to the
we-
episode? We can give you high praise that episode.
Episode 5 was great. Look, the episode 6, the whole show was fucking
Hold
phenomenal.
on, let the record state that he ignored the fact about him listening to the podcast.
I did listen to the podcast, except the
And
very end.
he always gives me a hard time about all this
Yeah.
stuff. So there.
Anyways,
Still
better than me.
episode 5. Episode 5. What was good about episode 5?
I wasn't too crazy about it. I just didn't understand certain things.
All right.
First of all, that fucking pump fake on the ship. You know, one ship is flying out and the other one's sitting there, and then that takes off right away. Like, come on. He would have sensed which ship. He can fucking sense which
Okay.
Inquisitor is gonna backstab him, but he doesn't know where the 500 people are sitting, which ship they're on. Like, fuck off.
Okay. For that,
Okay?
they
Second
showed.
of all,
Okay, go ahead.
Second of all, they have this fucking pulse cannon shooting at this fortified door. Nothing's happening. Obi-Wan's having a conversation with the Kuri, and all of a sudden she's like, "All right, I'm
The
just gonna
third
use the
sister.
lightsaber and fucking cut a hole in this door." When she could have done that right away. Like, this is just stupid shit. Stupid shit. And where the hell does this like turn come around where Obi breaks her and finds out what she's like really about, based on one stupid conversation. Like, there's no plan. Like, I'm gonna distract him, and we're both gonna attack him. Like, he literally just left her to fight him alone, and she's gonna die. Like, what does she think? Zero sum game. She's gonna totally lose. Episode 5 was irritating in certain sense, and so cool in others.
You didn't like it when he fucking pulled the fucking thing down, like, and you saw the power, and he's like
No,
pulling
that
down
was
his jet.
crazy. But then the second one taking off was fucking bullshit.
Don't make me laugh. It really triggers my cough right now. Oh, it really sends me down like a deep cough right now. So let's be very mindful of that, please. I'll say this much.
So don't be funny, is what you're saying.
Yeah. That's so
We should, as the other listener said, we should lower ourselves to your level, where we just sound funny.
Okay. When I got pump faked by that, because when he pulled that shit down, I'm like, oh fuck, they're all fucked. And then he ripped the door open and no one's in there. I'm like, what? And then the second ship, I didn't even know they had a second ship, to be honest.
I had to rewatch it and see it's like some small thing in the background, and all of a sudden it's this huge ship that takes off.
So I did think that was kind of amusing. I was super impressed by that force pull. But you know how they overlaid his combat scene with him and Anakin training? And Anakin was so blinded by using brute force that he didn't watch the exit? That's kind of what they were alluding to.
That's kind of what we're alluding to.
That he didn't have that exit. He wasn't watching.
That, again, that reinforces my what the fuck, because it looked like Obi and Darth Vader were both thinking in the same moment. Right?
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's more of an overlay on both them still being the same.
I think what his aggression blinds him. I think that's what the...
Yeah, but he's thinking back to all the times he almost beat Obi, and then he knows Obi always like does a pump fake, trick.
So I don't think...
No, but I mean,
either of them were
that keeps
thinking back,
happening, right? It's his aggression is always taking over. I mean, in the episode, 6, the next one where he has to chase him or whatever he's doing, he always just gets angry and goes.
Great.
So that it's like they're just showing that that's what he is. But
What a great scene.
I'll concede though that there's a lot of different what the fucks. But
hey, man,
any of these shows, I suspend so much of my like what ifs, because I'm like, why did he let him live after episode 3? Like, you know what I mean?
How the fuck did she live and get to Tatooine, the third sister? Like, what the fuck is going on
I
there?
don't watch that.
Was anyone else surprised how fast she got there? Because they're still chasing them in space and she's on the fucking planet.
She jumped. On
She's
what
in-
ship?
So hold
I
on.
don't know,
Let's go to episode 6. Finish episode 5. Are you guys done with that?
yeah, I guess.
I was,
I
you know
thought
what?
that was a dope episode,
I was actually upset she lived.
Yes.
I'm like, just that's it. Let's end
And
this.
fucking
Good
put-
fight scene. She made an attempt. That's the end of the story.
But
right?
they kind of alluded that she's gonna live, because when the top Inquisitor left and he only left her stabbed, he's like, revenge is the greatest motivator.
Yeah, he's like.
I know, but still, Darth Vader. You think Vader would just kill her?
So that's one thing that I think plagued this show a lot, is moments of, I'm surprised he just didn't kill, when Darth Vader could have killed Obi episode 1 or episode 2, whatever, when they fought. Because this whole series could have been over, like, he's dead.
Oh, is that the one where that's the one where Vader's chasing him, right?
Yeah, and he gets him and he drags him through the fire. And he's just like...
I still have gripes with that. He's clunking around all the other times we see him. Now he's jumping over sand dunes. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, that could have been one of those...
And
the
then,
whole series could have been over that one moment, but he decided, I
Where-
need 4 more episodes.
where is. And Robbie has said this. Where's the training montage? Like,
Rocky training, man. We needed it, man.
yeah. Like,
That's it. This was episode.
I'm
6.
gonna get ready to face Darth Vader. I'm
No,
gonna focus. I'm
man.
gonna do some box. some
Yo, it
Jedi
would have been
box.
cool. Like, so you know, at the end, he sees Qui-Gon. That if that was in between, he's like really lost. They pop up. Yoda comes. Training montage. Go get him.
Remember
there you
who
go.
you are.
You know. Yeah,
You
like that would have
are-
been cool.
I feel like...
Otherwise, like, what do we have? You're my happy thought. You're my happy thought. He's thinking fucking Leia, and then that's it. Like, now he has his powers.
Think of happy thoughts. What's that? That's Happy Gilmore.
No,
Peter
that's
Pan.
fucking Peter Pan, bro. He's in fucking
No,
Neverland.
Remember Happy Gilmore? Think of your happy place. Think of your happy place.
Yeah,
when
how
he's
to
putting
get
every
happy
time.
place. Yeah. It's all on the hips. It's all on the hips.
See, you guys identify all these weak spots, and I'm like, you're right. That's true. I can't really counter that intelligently, at least. I
And
could go on one of my...
we are being nitpicky, was it because it
No,
was
no.
so good?
I mean, I don't think you're nitpicking because these are really big, obvious like gaps in like, huh? How do you go from not knowing how to use the force?
All of this, just to say, if they didn't condense all of it into just 6 episodes, they could have addressed all these gaps.
Yeah.
It's because they wanted to keep it short.
Yeah.
I think these gaps have shown themselves.
So
But at the same
what
time, I was happy at the
what-
condensed version because I feel like if they dragged it on too much, I'd kind of be like annoyed because they're just straight filling episodes.
It could have been 8 episodes.
I think the action though got us so engaged because there was fight scenes in almost every. I think there's one filler episode. I think that episode 2 or whatever it was, but I mean for me that was a highlight when Obi does finally get his powers back and force pushes Vader. I'm like, whoa, that was like, okay, this is
All right, let's
like
just
I
go
want
right into
more,
this.
more, right?
The
So-
1v1 Vader versus Obi on that desolate planet.
Right.
I was so hyped, like, yeah, let's go. And then I'm gonna join you guys. I'm gonna nitpick a little bit. If Vader throws the mountain on him and walks away, not knowing he's still alive or not, could have ended it there. Confirmed that he won by making sure he actually killed him. Didn't sense this huge surge in the force while he's walking away. Okay, that whatever. But you want to show that this guy got his power back. He's back. Then why does Obi let Vader live? I know that he has to, but this guy basically beat him to a pulp.
Yeah, no, that whole mercy thing. I guess he had to.
He said
And-
goodbye, Darth. He says goodbye, Darth, right? Something like that.
Yeah, he said he's already
my
accepted
friend
that
is
Anakin's
dead.
dead.
Goodbye, Darth. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like he
Well,
could have ended the
he
whole
can't. Well, guys,
Empire's run.
I mean, the story's already been written. Like I said, he can't. He's not gonna kill him.
Yeah, like we know Leia and
Yeah.
everyone who lives, but it was one of those moments where he could have legit stopped half the genocide of the universe, but decided.
But isn't
I
that
don't
his
want to."
story? At every point, he's been able. He could have been the guy to stop, and he never does.
Obi, yeah, maybe. But that all aside, I love the way the fucking show went.
I didn't like the ending, like the last.
Where the sister could have killed.
So that the sister coming back was really annoying, like chasing Luke. I mean,
Yeah, that was
her
kinda
story's kind of
boring.
done. Like, why is she the person? It would have been cooler if, I don't know, if they had another villain or something else pop up. But I thought at that moment it wasn't going to be Obi-Wan who comes back. I thought it was going to be, what was her name again? I keep bringing her up. Who's that other Jedi that they're making the story about? She's Darth's.
Ahsoka.
I thought I was like, oh shit, they're gonna bring her in. She's gonna save Luke. I mean, that would have been cool.
Yes.
I feel like this is a drinking game. I don't even drink, but I'm gonna drink a sip of tea.
Opa. Opa.
Opa. All right, yeah.
That would have been cool if they actually brought her in, and that was the next segue to her story. But
That would have been cool.
yeah,
That would've been a better.
I didn't really care. I didn't really care for the last 15 minutes. I was like, yeah, whatever, save the day.
The last 15 minutes was kind of sus. It is what it is.
I'm happy that series existed. I'm happy it
Yeah.
happened. I was reading people
So
complaining
we
about
would
it
say,
after.
so it's on par with Boba.
What are you smoking? Holy shit! Put that crack pipe down, old man. Boba Fett is so unbearable to watch. The fact that you didn't even mention it in the same. Holy shit!
Hey,
Cancel this guy.
right?
Obi-Wan
I get this.
Mandalorian. And then
Ooh.
just below.
No, hold on.
Ooh,
You
no,
said
no, no.
Obi-Wan. No,
No,
Obi-Wan's
no,
not
Obi-Wan,
that far.
Mandalorian, Boba Fett's at my feet, man. Like, put that down the
So
toilet.
mind you, Mando's original.
Mando.
You gotta give it that is
you have-
original.
exactly. Which is why it scores high.
Okay, that's why I put it right here. It's bearable. It's a good show. It's something I'd watch it.
Mando's bearable.
It's a bearable show. I'd watch it again. If there's a new season, I'll watch it.
Mando's great.
No.
Obi-Wan did a great job to canon and fucking killed it. Also great in his right.
No.
And is also so good.
It's amazing.
Boba Fett is just right underneath. Just a little-
What drugs are you guys smoking? Fucking Brampton fuckboys on this show, man. Swear to God, bro. I
I know what it has to do. I don't know what our responses have to do with Brampton or Big Fuck Boys.
I got bottle
But
veins on the left and fake Gucci belt on the right.
Gucci Jut.
Gucci jet on the right, man. Obi-Wan was so much better than all these existing Star Wars shows. Like, it was movie-esque. It was a mini movie.
So my thing with boba is not. I will agree. It is the third tier or the third level, but there was nothing else on TV.
Fair. I'm not judging
That's
you
it.
for watching Boba Fett because I watch
Yeah.
Boba Fett. I'm just saying that I
But I
recognize.
generally just enjoy it. It wasn't that I cared for the story. I was like, oh, it's a good watch.
I only watched it because you were talking
that's
about it. I
Yeah,
was so
okay.
annoyed after every episode of that I watched, spent 40 minutes watching that and not just like getting shit on in Halo or playing a video game.
And what? Not watching. What's the other show you're watching? Will Smith show. What's that show called?
Oh,
Fresh
Bel Air.
Prince.
The one that
Bel
you put
Air.
me on?
I stopped watching it.
I stopped watching it after the second episode. This guy kept watching it because it's
I think I
Fresh
watched
Prince.
it for like 7 episodes.
I watched it up. It ended with, spoiler alert, it ends with Uncle Phil dropping out of the campaign race to protect Will, saying family comes first, and everyone kumbayaing Will, meeting his dad, and saying, I don't need you in my life.
Oh, that was the end?
That
That
was,
was the ending of the show. Okay.
yeah, that was the last episode of the season.
Right, it's like I saw the whole thing.
Yeah, right. He's like,
I didn't even know it ended.
I mean, it wasn't a memorable show. It's not going to make my top 10 in any way, but it was way better than Boba.
Anyways.
I don't know about saying better than Boba.
Okay,
That's a good one.
on to real life things, man. You guys see what's happening with the Calgary mayor?
Nope.
Former Calgary mayor, Nenshi.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah.
see his
yeah.
tweet?
No.
Oh, you didn't see his tweet? Oh, shit. You got to pull this up.
Oh, you gotta read it for him, Shinda.
That tweet
would
might
be good.
even be gone now. I feel like that's a tweet that you...
No, I think it's still there.
Oh, he kept it going? Let's see what he said. Where is it? I tweet so much that...
So he was
right.
responding to
Okay, so he's responding to someone named Sachikuri. Shachikuri? Sachi Curl. I was Sachi Curl. Man, I gotta get my eyesight checked. Anyone know a doctor? Shachi Curls tweeted, "Hi, this is the National Day of Remembrance of Victims of Terrorism. I must remember next year to poll on what Canadians think originated this day. A thread. I invite you to follow along." I'm gonna skip through this. Comes down to this is also the anniversary of the airindia bombings. And the airindia bombings is what created this National Day of Remembrance for Victims of Terrorism. All good. How many Canadians remember the airindia bombing? That's what they rant about. Blah, blah, blah. Naheed Nenshi, former mayor of Calgary, most progressive mayor. Everyone's like, yeah, Nenshi. We need you as the mayor of Toronto. We want you the mayor of every fucking buttfuck city in the world. He tweets, "This has bothered me for 37 years, and I'm only 50. We were too busy fighting about whether turban Sikhs could be police officers to seek justice for nearly 300 Canadians murdered."
Okay.
What do you think he's trying to say?
You got to read the tweet again.
One more time. "This has bothered me for 37 years, and I'm only 50. We were too busy fighting about whether turban Sikhs could be police officers to seek justice for nearly 300 Canadians murdered."
Okay, I guess I see some of the idiocy of his tweet.
Just explain what you thought your first read.
My first thought was, that the only Sikh issue that we thought was relevant was, turban accommodation, but we didn't go after, I guess, Permar or whoever, and let them off. Pretty much, he thinks that nobody really got dealt with, or nobody took punishment for the area and the bombing, and everybody kind of got off scot-free. That's what my takeaway is.
Robbie, what was your takeaway?
I think he's just mixing up the topics. Right? I mean, he's trying to get. I think he's responding to her about remembrance and getting justice, but I don't know why he's, saying that about Sikhs who are turban Sikhs. Why are you trying to slight the entire community? And like, regardless of who knows what the hell he was trying to say, because now he's kind of taking back some words and, kind of trying to take back his tweet, but
Probably drinking on the golf course and put that out there.
possibly. But I mean, for him to say, well, we were too busy trying to, stand up for this community rather than to be critical of them. Well, I mean, I believe he's Muslim, isn't he? Right? And we don't do that when there's other things from 9/11 to all this that get targeted on. We don't. There's no Islamophobia from us. We don't go, oh, it's because of we're not going to stand up for your rights because you guys have this going on. So I don't know where he was. Personally, I think he's an idiot for even saying that, or even to bother to comment. What was his need? Just
Yeah, no,
should have been like, just
Yeah.
should have been just like, yes, it's an important day of remembrance, and I do feel for the families, and move on. But what's the point of painting that brush and kind of casting a doubt on the entire community? What does turban RCMP officers have? Those guys are fighting for their own human rights.
Yo,
What does it have to do with anything? So
while we're on the topic though, has justice been doled out on that?
On what, the airindia bombing?
Yeah.
I mean, for the degree, like, no. Let's just be frank. There is no justice because they don't know who did it. They had people who they thought did it, and they realized half their evidence got erased. I still don't understand why that's not a bigger story here. Everyone's like, oh, that was just a human error. I honestly think that's a conspiracy. Like, when the fuck does RCMP just accidentally delete all their evidence? It wasn't just one tape that got erased. It was like 37 tapes just magically got erased.
why does our community still get the brunt end of it? Like, it's our community was responsible for it. I mean, it's not like we go around pointing at every other community saying, well, you had one person who did something wrong, so you guys are all like that. I mean, the narrative of tweets like that, and the guys like Terry, I'm sure Terry's just getting an erection reading all this stuff, right? Like,
Terry's
oh, it's my time. He's what I mean? Like, Terry's like, oh, here we go, open season. Guys like that are just willing to say that our community all thinks the same. That's their.
I mean, I know the community generally is kind of divided on what happened because none of us really know what happened. We all have our thoughts based on just our own community involvement, what uncles tell us about the character of the people involved, and whether or not, right? And I noticed that people who think they're 100% innocent come from the same state where people they look up to and respect growing up told them, like, nah, they wouldn't have done this. So it's.
But is it an issue? Is it an issue with you guys now? Is it
It's never come up.
a conversation point? Even if someone came and said, I'm like, it's wrong. I don't think anyone even tries to. No one's going to sit here and try to defend.
I've never heard anyone try to defend it. I think a lot of the conversation I've always heard about it was whether or not it was a conspiracy by the Indian government to the soft target comes up a lot.
Yeah.
And most people I know haven't read Soft Target. I read Soft Target. It's a good book. Soft Target doesn't come to any conclusions itself. They just really point the finger at cases of innocence of why so-and-so couldn't be it, what other people we should be looking at, and also directly tie all the cases of Indian embassy involvement, which isn't really conspiratorial if you take everything that happens with the Indian embassy to this date with the community that comes out. Even in that trial, a lot of the Indian embassy stuff was up in the air where police officers were saying, yeah, we realized that the Indian embassy was paying newspapers, Punjabi newspapers, to publish a certain narrative. All this stuff kind of...
I honestly, I'm not educated enough on any of it. I just think, one, it's stupid. Any kind of bombing like that, what are you trying to achieve? You don't achieve anything.
Yeah.
Innocent lives are lost, so that's wrong. And in our culture, that's wrong. Killing of innocents. So that if that takes precedence, that's the end.
I mean, there's no Sikh in there, so it wasn't...
That's the. But I mean, for us as a community, someone asked me, I'm like, no, it's wrong. Innocent people died. That's the end of it.
I do disagree with you, Shinde. I do think that when I ask someone a question about, hey, do you think that Permar and all these guys, they were wrong for doing what they did, whatever. And the first thing you hear is, yeah, but the Indian government this, blah, 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 that. No one, most people will come out with that angle right away. No one will really say, yeah, that was fucked up.
I've never heard anyone really say, yeah. I feel like they say
right away. And case in point, the first thing you brought up was, yeah, it's wrong. But immediately we go to the excuse. Or the caveat, or the background. I agree. I read Soft Target, and I agree they 100% raise a lot of legitimate questions about the investigation, issues that needed to be, addressed and further looked at. But at the end of the day, we're just creating excuses or boogeymans and ignoring, man. Like some people did some fucked up shit. We gotta own it. It's a dark mark on our history.
I
Whatever
think
outside influences probably did, affect that and have a hand in that.
I think a lot of it just comes down to why are we accepting something that we can't confirm was us? Unless, like I said, some people say no, we think it was us.
For us, we're inside our tribe. For us, we're saying it's not 100% us. Somebody from the outside, like a victim's family looking in, will think there's more than enough evidence for me to think that it more or less was them, or two, Babur Khalsa Sikhs or whatever, and that's enough for them, right? It's perspective. I think we're too far in our tribe to see it from their side that
Do you think there was
there's
not
more than enough
enough?
evidence there.
Do you think there was not enough rejection of the initial event from our community, and sympathy, empathy, whatever you want to call it, where it kind of lets those feelings of animosity fester and get worse, and now they think it's our entire community? Like, do you think?
I didn't know about Air India until fucking high school. I had
Me
no
either. I'm not. I'm not. I'm just saying generally the general
I
community.
learned about this in high school, and the first thing I was told is it was adjuncts or agency.
Yeah, that's what I got told too.
Okay. And then in undergrad, by the time I got to early undergrad, I started learning about what was going on or what happened. And that the theory is that these guys were tricked or lured into doing or induced into doing what they did or play their part, or they didn't in fact do anything at all, but they were made to look like they were part of it. There's a number of theories, man, but yeah, like I've seen what they allegedly did been colored by conspiracy theories or plausible theories. I won't say conspiracy, plausible theories on what could have happened. And there's agencies at work. Everybody knows. Every country has them. Fucking Mossad, Raw, whatever. NSA. Every country has something, right? But yeah, it was always colored with these plausible theories, and nobody really says, yeah, straight up, these guys did something fucked up. Most likely,
Yeah, like
they might have done. Yeah, just own it. Yeah,
just
like,
sympathize. Yeah, just,
yeah, just
no,
sympathize.
not own it and take it as your own. Say whoever did it is completely wrong,
Yeah,
right?
and
But I
if
think
and
I know.
if it was them,
I
then
know
it's fucked up.
Terry's issue, and I don't know who. Once again, I do apologize. I should be better versed in this. That his issue is always that there's always a picture of one of the guys that they put up in the Gurdwara, and that's always Terry's issue, that we kind of
Terry,
make him heroes. That's the line he always pulls in an argument.
I mean,
I've gone into
Terry's-
I've gone into an argument with Terry, but it's just
I mean, Terry's whole thing
he-
is like, why you guys celebrating Parmar? Parmar went on stage and said, Sikhs need to kill 5,000 Hindus and get revenge in New York. Like Parmar did say that. It was caught on video. It was a very raw, emotional thing
Yeah.
that he said. And he's saying, look, that is an admission that he went and bombed his plane, even though in my opinion, there's enough stuff to say that.
Oh, was he stupid to say it?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, he was stupid to say that. It wasn't the right thing to say.
That's like something like Banerjee just said this week, right?
yeah, 100%. No,
Yeah.
Like that's the
I'm not
equivalent
even,
of it.
I'm not gonna.
It was a horrible thing to say. It's not a proper thing to say, right?
It's not a
Not even
emotional-
proper. It's just
it's
just
stupid.
stupid.
It's straight stupid.
Just stupid. So if it's stupid, and then is he a hero?
I mean, so that's where a lot of people get caught up on it. I'm not going to jump into that one too much. I also kind of say, look, it's an emotional plea. This guy might have people who he was close to that just got murdered by the Indian police. And in his response to that is, fuck all Hindus, right? So I do have to say, like, I know emotions were high. I don't know how devout he was to that message. I just know.
I'm just saying on retrospect, I think we can all agree that that's not the right message.
It's not the right message to put out there. It was a stupid thing to say.
To kill innocents.
Yeah, to kill innocent
of it.
people. So, but back to Nenshi, right? He basically, in my opinion, what he was saying in his tweet was, I can't believe that we were like so busy arguing about accommodating these guys when we should have been more focused on, arresting these guys.
But who's it? These
That was
guys. That's my
Sikhs.
problem with the whole conversation. But it's. I mean, you're once again, as they consistently do, that moment in time is not descriptive of our entire community.
Yeah, I mean, he
It's
basically backtracked his tweet big time.
Yeah, but imagine a student who's just coming to India, he doesn't know anything about this 90. They're like, what is this?
Yeah,
Right? What do you mean we're bad people because something happened in the like? Our community's bigger than I don't know how to explain it, man. My whole thing is that it's wrong. Who did it, why they did it, I can't answer that. And if it was these guys and they were guilty, then they're guilty. But I mean, at the end of the day, you do feel for the families that lost people. But yeah, I think it's weird how they just use it as something to paint across the entire community any moment they get, especially Terry. Terry loves it.
I mean, I'm not trying to whitewash the whole thing. I think it's great that we have memorials now set up to remember those lost, because it was one of the biggest terrorist attacks on Canadian soil. I think
Yes.
it's horrible, regardless of how it comes down to it. I think even if it is a community and we can definitively say it was was us, the community, I know 100% the community will say, no, we don't accept these people as being represented. I don't know if it's saying we don't accept them as one of our own, but more of we don't condone what they believed in. Right?
Have any of you ever met one-on-one any of the victims' families?
I have not.
No.
I have. And I went into their house. There's a lady lost her husband and kid. So I went into her house. I was kind of like wondering if she had an automatic bias. I went with a friend.
How'd this come up, though? What was the precipice for you meeting her?
I had a close friend who was a family friend of hers, and he had to go to her house to pick something up on the way to going somewhere. And I was asking, she's kind of like well achieved, and I was asking him about her background and how she got to where she was, and he was telling me background, how she's a widow, but she did all this, and I asked, oh, how long has she been a widow? And he told me, oh, since airindia. And I was like, oh, really? And he's like, yeah, she lost her kid and husband. Anyways, I went inside. I always wondered, like, that was the first time I actually saw like a victim, and it makes it really real, because if Talinda Parmar can have that kind of reaction, and we think it's, we put the band-aid on and say, he said something out of emotion, then can you really, I wonder if there's 300, and 92 families out there, however many victims there were, I believe that's the number, but do they have a bias against the community just because of what happened, and are they wrong to? Like, fuck, maybe not, man. Anyway, she's very nice, very pleasant. Always rocked this big ass garda, so I know we're rock a pug, but I don't really hide my community affiliation. But yeah, she was
Hold
chill.
on, did you just say that you weren't wearing a pug, but you do rock a big kata?
I do rock a big garda. Like I'm saying, it's not hard for someone to make the reach that I'm.
Gosh, and the smiling. You've said something titillating to him. I don't get it.
I get turned around and you say, I don't have my community.
No, but she knows he's from the community. If you were,
yeah.
Man, this guy and his anti-Munda sentiment right here.
Fucking,
Bald ass Mona shows up with a big ass gun. Do I think he's Khalistani?
maybe.
He could be.
All right.
Yeah. The most effective Khalistanis were fucking Monday, right? Thank you very much. Anyways.
I mean, he's not wrong. I'm not going to dispute that. I know my history well enough, sir. But yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Look, I'm at this weird age now where I don't see everything as black and white, good versus evil. I think there's a lot of evil in between and grayness and all that. So, I mean, and when you said she's a widow who lost her husband and child, probably only child at that moment, possibly.
Yeah.
That hits that. There's a different sort of empathy now that I have for when you lose a child early.
I mean, if you guys remember the Iranian flight that just got shot down by the I'm sure those families are not fans of the Iranian government or the army.
Yeah.
And never will be. So,
yeah. And I know, look,
think of it that
you
way.
can't tell them, like, hey, just read Soft Target, it'll make you feel better. That victims are never going to be like, what the fuck are you smoking?
The Indian government, we really did it. Like,
they're like, here's a video of your guy saying that he wants to kill all of us. Here's a bunch of evidence of him in the woods practicing planting bombs. And here's someone who did admit to being part of the plan saying, hey, yeah, he was part of it too. I mean, look, I understand all that, and
Hold on, what? He was training for this?
yeah, they have videos of the RCMP videos of them in
Wow.
the backwoods practicing setting off bombs. Um, and apparently they had a whole lot more that they accidentally deleted. Which, I mean, that's the part that gets me. You have like the convenient parts, but where's
Accidentally
all?
deleted.
I just don't understand accidentally deleted because it's not like a computer where you can press delete or you put a hard drive. They legit have 36 tapes and they white erased them. Like they blacked out the audio so that it was unrecoverable. Like they went through the process of complete and utter erasure. You know, very. There's oops, I did that. Edit, undo, edit. Here's what I did. This was no. Here's 30. Here's a full box of this stuff that I just destroyed. And oh yeah, it's not going to come up until the actual case. I don't even think that's at the level of conspiracy where it's kind of like far fetching. That sounds a little fishy. No, please.
Yeah, it was probably the RCMP who did something to botch their fucking investigation.
Yeah, that's
And
it.
then
Could just be
why?
still stupid. It still could still be stupidity.
Yeah.
The level of stupidity. I understand.
I would
definitely-
side on the level of something erroneous or stupid happening rather than some conspiracy.
36
purposely-
tapes of your biggest case.
Probably ever.
Hey, what's that CSIS officer who got his files stolen while he was at a Raptors game with his kids?
What? Really?
No,
Did
I
you hear
never
about this?
heard-
This is years ago, where like he had a briefcase and a file stolen out of his trunk while he's at a Raptors game. He's CSIS agent. Should
I
happen.
remember. I remember that People Party leader having very secretive government files on him while meeting with his girlfriend, who was
Bernier.
yeah, Maxime Bernier, and his girlfriend's ex was there, who was a member of the Hells Angels.
Oh, really? I
There's
didn't know
some-
that's how he lost. That's how he fucked up with sharing the data. I knew he did
Yeah,
it
yeah,
at his
that
girlfriend's house, but yeah, that
and
was
like
mad
Hells
tasty.
Angels. But yeah, so look, I'm not one to say that there isn't levels of stupidity and human error that are involved in government, and a lot of times conspiracy and stupidity go hand in hand. I'm just saying, a erasure of 36 tapes in the biggest criminal case, that just seems a little more orchestrated to me.
Yeah.
Less than edit undo. I fell and I spilled coffee on this vital piece of evidence.
My double.
Talking about governments being stupid, Roe vs Wade. What are your thoughts on that? It finally got confirmed. I know we mentioned it before, but
Well, it was. We
It's finally
kind of
been
knew it was
brought
going
back.
to. We kind of knew this was going to
Yeah.
happen, right? So this is today's kind of outcry is just in reaction to kind of what they knew was going to happen, anyways, right?
that happened now.
It's the end of term, right? Because I don't know if you guys know this, but the Supreme Court will stop sitting for the summer now, so they go on a summer break. So
Summer
at the-
vacation.
At the end of term is when they usually come out with their like biggest decisions of the year. So that's why you guys probably saw that hoopla about the New York gun,
The memo.
Law?
The memo. Yeah.
the gun law, the gun law.
Oh, the
I
gun
know
law.
the-
Sorry.
I know
Yeah,
nothing about that. Maybe you want
the
to.
concealed carry. So New York had this rule where if you want to conceal carry your weapon, you have to apply for a special permit. And like the reason they would consider it is, you know, you're in secret protection or you're an ex-cop who used to work undercover or you're a juror in a high profile criminal case. Like that's when you could apply for this permit, but largely it's denied, right? So this guy started a case, some New York guy saying he wants to be able to carry his weapon concealed, and he should be allowed to. And he appealed it all to the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court ruled in his favor. So yeah, that was a big deal. That's been reversed. So that law in New York restricting that was there for like 100 years, reversed. And then yeah, Roe v. Wade. You know, I think there's like 8 or 9 decisions that are supposed to come out during this time, like big ones, and this is another one. So
They're
yeah,
just hitting that edit undo button on these
Yo,
historical
it-
precedents, eh?
it's pretty fucked, and it's funny the word that you said, historical precedents. Like the judge who wrote his own opinion affirming the decision is pretty fucked. So he's a Kala judge, black guy, married to a white girl. The reason why I'm saying this, it'll come up in a second, but he he uses this framework saying that we need to look back at historically how the Constitution or like what rules were in place back in the day, and use that as a framework to see if to apply to precedents that should be overturned. So his thinking that we need to look into the past to see um, what gun laws were used back in the 1800s 1700s and apply them to today is kind of flawed because you kind of handcuff yourself to a time period that doesn't take into account today's world, and using that backwards framework saying that we're making up new rules that are unprecedented is kind of fucked. So he also hinted in his decision that not only should Roe v. Wade be overturned, but other cases, big ones that uh, you know allowed in same-sex marriage, same-sex relationships, access to contraception. Like he wants those looked at as well. But using that same framework, there's also a case that could overturn interracial marriage, which is kind of ironic because he's in interracial marriage, but he left that one unsaid or unspoken. But yeah, man, it's pretty fucked up what's going on in the U.S. right now.
So he basically said, "Look, this is why these laws could be overturned." Kind of like just a academic thesis, a mental exercise. And
Yeah,
then the judges are like, "Hey, that makes sense. We're gonna use that to overturn the shit."
yeah, and the dissenting opinion was pretty harsh too, pretty much saying, "Yo, we're judges, not fucking historians. Like we have to look at the law and assess it, as a base of principles and apply them to today, and not fucking look back at history and correlate them to law and see was this ever done? Was this ever done? Was this ever done?" You're no longer a judge. You're a fucking historian, just trying to keep things consistent with the past. It's stupid.
Should there be
Anyways.
a time frame on precedents? Like a precedent's only a precedent if it's applicable in the last 20, 30 years?
No, I mean,
Because that's what it sounds like. They're just like, yo, some of these laws were done so long ago. They're based on uh,
precedents
old
keep getting
laws.
modified. Precedents keep getting modified. That's how it should be done. Maybe sometimes like a case will affect a test that was used in a past precedent and it's modified, but undoing is kind of weird. Undoing is like pretty significant, and that's what's being done right now, and it's pretty fucking radical, man.
Isn't the solution to this really just for them to legislate abortions?
That's what they're gonna have to do.
I mean, that's what
That's
Canada's done, right? Canada has legislation on the books saying
on the
this.
books, not pushed through.
I thought it was legal, like it was
From my
legally.
understanding, it's there's no legislation. The courts have been like down with
The
it, but
courts have been the ones that been backing it.
yeah, like we had our own Roe v. Wade, which allowed it, but yeah, I don't think it's legislated, and thankfully, like we're not there yet. But man, a stroke of a pen of a judge someday could change that too, right? So
I mean, I feel like all this stuff is just, it's like, okay, the courts aren't the right place for this to be decided, so we're gonna put it into the House of Commons or the Senate or the Assembly, whatever America's thing's called, and now we're gonna make a law, and we're gonna have. Would it pass in America? Is there enough?
I mean, they just passed that
Because I feel like
gun
there's no going
protection
back
law,
to.
right? For
Yeah,
the red flag checks and shit like that, and that was pretty bipartisan. So that was pretty cool that they were able to do that because America's Senate is pretty handicapped right now, or handcuffed because how decisive everything is. Um, but I don't really see them legislating anything right now, man.
I feel like
It's
America is very slow on like the big legislations, like these very.
Yeah, and this is really polarizing. I don't know where they go from this. But look, like this
What's
country fucking kills their kids in schools and they don't give a fuck. So
That's
yeah?
the ironic thing. They're like, yo,
like,
America
who
has no
knows?
problem
There's lost
having
fucking
kids. They
cause.
just don't like keeping them alive after.
Yeah.
What's the implications, if any, in here in Canada? Um, is the reaction to be so,
It's just
taken back
political.
by?
It's
No,
just
but I mean, there's some. I was reading today that like I think it was on Twitter that Trudeau couldn't have asked for a better situation
and
because
And
people are
Biden.
going to have such a visceral reaction
And
to
Biden.
conservative MPs who are like pro, and Biden as well,
Yeah.
that this is actually good politically. It'd be interesting what's going to happen to some of those MPs in Canada that are,
I mean, it's
you
what
know,
cost Shear the election, right?
yeah,
O'Toole tried to
yeah.
avoid it, but Shear kind of got dragged into it because he couldn't keep his MPs from commenting on it, saying thing, and then all Trudeau had to do was say, "Look, the opposition wants to bring back and talk about abortion and same-sex marriage,"
Wh-
and all of a sudden,
Has
that polarizes progressive left to be like, "Okay, what's the party we have to vote for to stay away from these guys? Oh, it's the Liberals. Fuck the NDP. Fuck everyone else. We're all voting the Liberals." If it's when the left isn't afraid of the right that they start splitting their votes and the Conservatives come in power. It's when you
how
can have a clear conservative, scary boogeyman of things they might do. That
do you guys have? Do you know what the PP's perspective is on it?
Anti.
I don't know where he stands.
anti-abortion.
Is he?
Yes.
He's come out and said that.
He's on a list. It's so there's a list that came out, and I'm sure this is fucking some liberal think tank that had this ready to go. But they looked at people with their voting patterns
I see.
on past bills and whatnot and speeches. So based on that, they looked at who has voted against pro-choice legislation or any motion, and based on that, they have 87 sitting MPs of the Conservative caucus right now that are anti-abortion.
Oh,
here's the thing:
interesting.
the way a lot of
Hold
these
on,
bills.
my whole all I thought about that. Sorry to interrupt. Is PP doing another promo video, just like the airport, but now he's walking through the maternity ward.
No. he, he did do one recently, just like that airport one though, where he walks through a passport office. Have you not seen this one? He did one. It's like 9 a.m. in the morning, and he walks through a passport office going on how bad the Canadian government is handling the passport thing. And he starts talking to people like, "What time did you start lining up?" "Holy smokes, 3 a.m." He basically, the ad's punchline is to go on a free camping trip to get your passport because you got to camp to get your passport.
Uh,
I thought it was pretty witty, low key. These ads are brilliant because they're hitting and triggering real life things that bug people. We all hate the passport line. We know it's a thing. He's really like pinching at these nerves, and I think it's smart politically.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean it's a line. No, but surely they could have to have a better process for the passports. That's all I would say.
This passport situation
man,
is so
Passport
messed.
sucks. I booked an appointment for my kid in July in London. Okay,
Wow.
that better fucking work.
No, but when I did it, we went to, it was pretty long in March as well.
Yeah.
But because I was flying within the 2 weeks, I got fast forwarded, and I just had to show my documentation that I had actually booked a flight.
I'm doing
That was
a
it.
road trip to fucking
London,
Michigan.
Ontario.
What am I supposed to show? Like, what am I supposed to show them? Now I have to book
Are
a
you
hotel
clubbed?
when I didn't need one. Now I'm gonna book a hotel just so I can show that I'm fucking going.
So we're
Yeah.
traveling in November, and we're like, when do we start doing our kid's passport?
Do it
And-
now.
Yeah, but they're also like, no, they're not accepting passport applications 45 days out of your travel.
Can you go anywhere in Ontario?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can go to any
To do
passport
this?
Do anywhere in
office.
Canada.
Yeah,
Yo, go to North Bay, man. Kick it up. 4 hours, get it done.
yeah. I mean, it's so messed up right now. But today
I
on the
doubt.
radio,
I doubt there's a lot of people in North Bay taking international flights. I'm just.
yeah, no, it's
No?
fair. I
Pretty
mean,
small-minded of you. You think that?
not representing.
You know what?
global.
You know when you say something, you're like, "Whoops." I was like, "How do I reel that back?"
But yeah, so now we're in this weird place of we're more than 45 days out. Maybe we have to do what you do and just book a hotel to say, hey, we're going to friggin' Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then get the free cancellation on Expedia too.
You can get flights canceled for free, right? That's another option.
Yeah. Either way, it seems like it's a stressful thing. PP's commenting on it, so it resonates with all of Canadians. But you're saying
Especially
PP's
you.
on this list on abortionists?
Yeah. So I was just taking a look like how they calculated. So anti-choice MPPs are designated anti-choice because of they voted in favor of an anti-choice bill or motion, or they opposed the order of Canada for Dr. Henry Montgen-Teller in 2008. So I guess this is some doctor who had something to do with abortions.
But here's the thing with this.
Anti-choice or pro-life statements. So based on that, there's 5 sitting Liberal MPs that are anti-choice or considered anti-choice based on that criteria, and 87 Conservative of 119. So 73% of the party.
Which is fair. I mean, look, it wouldn't be surprise me if he did. But isn't there also a thing where if a Liberal brings up a senator, like, we want to make this guy a senator, we have majority, obviously they're going to pass their guy. But isn't it, like, customary for, like, the other parties to just be like, yeah, fuck that guy? No. Like, I thought it's always been, like, with motion and, like,
Order of
bills too,
Canada.
right?
Order of Canada is an award. It's not Senate.
Okay, I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. I just digress. I don't care enough to really defend it. All I'm saying is, it's common for people of other parties to vote
The
down.
wheels fell off that car very
And
quickly.
Kim and just Roger on that list too. I was actually surprised.
Yeah.
What's our community's consensus
I can't say.
on?
I can't say.
I'm just from okay. Let's
I
surely a
don't, I don't. I
religious-
think
a-
it might end this podcast if we go if we give a decision.
I think our community is just as divided as the rest of the country. I don't think our
Yeah.
community is any more.
Look at the politician. Look at the
And I say this
politician.
because I'm in groups which applauded the decision, saying abortion is too easy, and I'm also in groups which are a little more like-minded, saying, "Hey, this is kind of fucked." And I'm always of the mind that I'm not one to tell a woman what she can and can't do with her body. If I were to accidentally impregnate someone, I would be like, "Look, I'm going to take care of this child." I'm putting it out there where I stand on this. I'm not, I wouldn't. I need to tell you where I stand. Look, all I'm saying,
Oh, I missed all that because I was laughing. Sorry. Go ahead.
like, I think people who have abortions out of convenience, I think that's pretty scummy. I think medical abortions and all that kind of stuff make full sense to me. But ethically, I think, like, if you're using abortion as an excuse of contraception, I think there's something weird with that. But again, I don't get involved in what
But
other
don't
people choose to do.
do all religions aren't they anti-contraceptive altogether?
Yeah, they are.
Doesn't matter which method
They're
you
just
use.
they're just like,
So
yo,
some of those people applauding this are still using some sort of type of.
religions are all pull-out game. Religions are all, yo, you gotta get that pull-out
It's a
game.
polo game.
I'm gonna go with her. Fuck. I don't know if there's a clear answer in our community. That's my.
I would assume let's say our generation.
There's no rule or any like that number or some shit like that I know of.
The closest one that we can point to is Kurimar, right?
Yes. And you take that as a principle.
And you take that as a principle and you elaborate. Exactly. But Kurimar is also a point where people were killing their daughters after they were born
Yeah.
because they didn't have a way to know that the sex
Yeah.
beforehand. And I think that generally everyone again in our community agrees is scummy and stupid and fucked up, and you're an evil human being if you're involved in that practice.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Whatever. Pro-life.
I'm still laughing.
If I was to accidentally impregnate,
accidentally. He said accidentally impregnate. I'm like, what? Wait.
like Sim, I just threw it at her. It wasn't me. It was by accident. I threw it at her. She got pregnant.
I don't know
She got
how.
pregnant. She got pregnant.
I'm fucking done. Fuck you, ass.
So now I gotta take you to a clinic. Not my fault.
Not my fault. It was an accident.
I would say I'm not taking them to the clinic because I'm pro-life in that regard. I'm not using it as a contraception. I'm taking.
So you're saying you're responsible for your actions. That's what
I'm
you're saying.
responsible for my actions, and I don't think that I'm aborting a kid just out of I really don't want to take care of a kid is the best reason to get an abortion,
That's
or
fine.
a reason
It's
that I
easier for
agree
dudes
with.
though. It's easier for dudes though because they'll just fucking.
No, I would
Mom
legit
take
say
care.
no.
Let
I
the
would
mom
legit
raise
say
the kid.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck.
So I don't know.
That was fun.
But at the end of the day, like the principle's there.
Look, man.
It's her body, her choice.
I think that's, but I think I would say a majority of the population thinks like us. I would say it's over 90% of the population is like-minded. It's only the fringe 5% that are, always fighting one another and bringing up these issues. So that's the way I look at it. I think most people are like-minded. Now it's just shocking that those 5% have that much power and got something passed in the States or got something reversed, or because even they were saying the last 4 presidents
They wouldn't touch it.
did not, the ones who bring this up did not win the popular vote.
Yeah, I don't think you win the popular vote with this stuff. I think Trump was
No,
the
but they
only
never
one
have.
who's-
It's every president who stands. They never win the popular vote. It's always the presidents who, like guys like Trump, and they always bring this up as an issue, but they're not the popular president. So it's just, they should just put this on a ballot once and for all and just,
They need to put
Let
it
the
on a
people
bill and
just-
just make the legislation and
let the people decide. Done.
legit
Finished.
make it a campaign issue. Trudeau and them are going to be like, we're going to make this a campaign issue next election. We're going to legislate this.
Simply, he just has to go to the conservative guy running against him, or her, or she, or running against him, and turn around and say, "What's your stance?" That's it. National TV. What's your stance? That's it. And if PP or whoever it is can't formulate a
You know what?
straightforward response,
I'll tell you
that's
exactly
it.
how the Liberals are going to do this. If I'm Trudeau and I'm being I'm going to wait for the leader to get elected. Wait for the leader to get elected.
Yeah.
Wait a few months before the election pulls up. Introduce it as a bill to finally put it in thing. And now you have the Conservatives saying we're abstaining from the vote or we're not voting. And now you got your political thing going into the
online.
election. You're like, look,
Yeah.
when they had to put their name on the bill, they refused to. That's where they stand.
That's a good point.
That's how it's gonna come. If I'm Trudeau, this is what I'm like. Finally, I have a reason to bring this up. People can't say you're just bringing it up. He'd be like, no.
So Trudeau's probably hoping for PP.
He doesn't care. He's gonna he wants PP because he knows PP.
He wants
gonna,
PP.
because PP's gonna have to really juggle this line, and he's gonna make him call him out on this. And if I'm PP now, I would say, hey, I'd call him. I'm like, we're voting in favor of it. I'm gonna let my MPs vote their conscience, but I'm voting with you guys here, and that's
Imagine they all voted and it was like the Liberals
they're-
didn't expect it. Like, oh shit.
They're gonna be playing a giant game of Uno right now, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, do you have the reverse Uno card? It's like, no. And that's why, like, Patrick Brown's saying, he's coming out saying, he's like, yo, I've always supported same sex since this time, but I did make a mistake where I voted against it because of party whip. But look, I've attended every pride. Like, the candidates are really trying to make it clear where they stand on this stuff. PP's smart enough to keep his mouth shut sometimes, I think. On this,
I think the party's been told not to talk about it because it's
Yeah.
been pretty quiet in Canada.
They're pulling a Dougler.
yeah, look,
Page out of Dougler's book.
they're like just Douglas 100% told. He's like, look, I know people in my party who will not want to comment on this. Fuck you, don't say shit. Sam Westerhoff, everyone knows who he is. He had that other crazy chick from the family party who was like, I think all MPs, and she was like super crazy. I don't even know what more to say on her. But he's dealt with some crackheads before. So he's just like, look, ain't no one saying shit. I don't care what the fuck you believe. We're going to make this one statement only. All you guys shut the fuck up. And look, and now Douglas has a new ministry. Any thoughts?
Yeah.
Dougler's ministry. I just had one point on that. His nephew's appointment. I have buyer's remorse, so I gotta get. How did he give his nephew
It makes the
First
most
time-
sense.
Minister
Oh,
of
no, no.
Multiculturalism and Immigration?
Dude.
Seriously?
Yes.
There's no other. Parm Gill
Why-
was the former.
Why does this why am I the only one that sees it clearly and everybody has the same stupid comment you're about to make? The whitest guy being
I didn't say what. No, I didn't bring this a race thing. Experience.
You
Experience.
did originally when you talked to me about it.
Yeah, you're going
Those are
for
in
the
private conversations when we're planning this to go against Ranjit. That's not what I'm saying now.
You backed away from that. Why the whitest guy get the most multicultural?
putting a minority and he's just provincial. Like he doesn't.
Okay,
fucking
can we just say it's nepotism?
The guy ran and won.
What if it's
Yeah, but it is his
Jetism.
nephew, and he got a ministry on his first time. Come on.
He put the
Isn't this the kid who changes? Isn't this
Wait,
kid
the
who changed his
whitest
real last name to Ford's just so he can win the elections?
Really?
Yeah, hold on. I swear to God, this is the guy. Counselor, right? He used to be a city councilor.
It's like his mom's mom. He's related to Ford on the mom's side, so he's like, "Look, mom, we're gonna take your surname because of the political."
Michael
advantage."
Ford, right?
Look.
I'm gonna search this while you guys talk. So
I'm
we know.
just gonna say this. It's
Is it
political.
racist?
It's horrible for a minority to be
Yes,
immigration
he
minister.
was not. He changed his last name, guys.
Okay, that's sad. That's horrible.
That's
About your
brilliant.
father.
That's brilliant.
Anyways, yeah, it sucks. Think if they put a Punjabi immigration minister.
That's racist.
No,
Why is that
would be
racist?
horrible.
Why are you
Because
making the one token Punjabi the
everybody
minister of?
and their dad would be at his house, fucking saying "Bija Dawade, Bija Dawade." It'd be horrible. He would never get elected again.
Hold on, did that happen to Parm Gill?
Parmgill
He's taken over for
multicultural
Parm Gill.
minister, not immigration.
No,
It's
immigration's
immigration
federal.
as well. That's the seat. It's a
But that's not
double
what
seat.
Parm didn't have that.
Sorry, Minister of Citizenship. My apologies.
Yes,
Citizenship.
Citizenship.
What's that even
Citizenship.
mean?
I don't know. Thought it was the
There's
same
so
thing
many
as
ministries
immigration.
that make no sense. I'm like, what the fuck does a minister of citizenship do?
Especially in Ontario, if it's a federal thing, isn't it?
The
Yeah,
only
but
ministry
like-
that I low-key
but
think is
what-
worth having is Ministry of Sport. So that means you get box seats at all the sporting events that happen. Free tickets to
Ontario
all the big
and
things.
provinces, they have these provincial programs that can like speed up getting PR. So like maybe that's part of citizenship in the Ontario cabinet. I'm not sure, but that's what I'm assuming. Anyways, even that for a minority would suck. Like any Middle Eastern, Indian guy who got that ministry or Chinese, it sucked for them. So yeah, always give that to a white dude or white girl, like who
Make it their
probably
headache.
wouldn't have that issue. Yeah, it doesn't have that headache.
Any surprises from some of the ministers who got appointed?
I didn't really give a good look to the list, to be honest. I want to shout out our boy Rob.
I like how you couldn't think of his name and you didn't know which name to use.
No, I was thinking, should I honestly say that he's our boy? He probably wants to distance himself from us.
Yeah, I don't
That's legit what I
think he's
thought.
I don't think he's ever coming on our podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, he was never
But
coming on
fuck
our podcast. No politician or anyone who has a political career in sight.
Any ambition is coming on here.
And we can 100% say this because if we say this and they comment on it, that's how we know that they listen. No one politically is going to say, hey, I heard that episode and I disagree. 100%, we have zero political reach on this podcast.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shindo.
Yeah. But yeah, shout out
I'm
to
just putting
him.
it out there, man.
He got President Treasury Board again, which is his last post before the election. Huge place. Good for him and his career, and obviously he deserves it. And it's an expanded role, so he also has the mandate to take care of emergency procurement. So good job, man.
I just got to get him to fix some of this Bitcoin. That's the problem with PP. He made Bitcoin so toxic, no one's going to try to fix some of this legislation. They friggin' banned Bitcoin trading in Ontario from the Security Commission. So fucking annoying.
Really?
Not Bitcoin trading specifically, but Bitcoin future trading. So future
okay.
indexes and stuff, they can't operate brokerages here. And
I mean,
they can't allow...
the future stuff was a scam, though, anyways, to make a lot of those trading platforms money, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean-
that and NFTs are all scams.
Futures is a viable
Brad's
thing
just
that
throwing out
exists in all
terms.
platforms, right? No, futures trading is something that all brokerages do.
Yeah, but when you get liquidated, who gets the money?
Huh? Yeah, because you're
Like,
betting
it-
on... Yeah,
Yeah, so who gets the money? The house. Who's the house? Like a
the
casino.
house doesn't...
It's the-
No, the brokerage doesn't take the money. It's the money maker takes the money. Whoever you're trading against.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's not like the brokerage now gets to collect
But I
money.
thought they get no. I thought they get a percentage of fees.
They get the fees on all the trades.
That's what I'm saying. They're still making money.
That's how brokerages work. That's just the operation of a
No.
brokerage. There's nothing unethical or weird about that.
I know, but at the amount and volume that you guys were spending,
Yeah, no,
was
I
it
remember.
Coinbase is looking at layoffs supposedly, and
Well, Simple.
Yeah, well, is
Well,
Wealthsimple
Simple-
looking at layoffs on this stuff?
Well, Simple has done layoffs.
Oh, I did not know that.
oh,
I know they
Has
went. I know they went big on it. It's always weird when the big corps and like the legit money guys get taken advantage of. 'Cause I'm like, you guys knew what was happening in these markets, man. How the hell did you guys get caught offside?
Greed is good.
And NFTs, we were talking about NFTs earlier. Yeah, like we were saying, like there's a thing I read where a lot of the rich people who invested in NFTs and made their Twitter profiles like bored apes, changing their profile pics now finally to like not flex what they spent and what they lost now because everyone knows.
Yeah.
Look, man, when people think money's easy, they're gonna get taken advantage of, and that includes celebrities, that includes millionaires, it includes billionaire investors like Michael Saylor, who's been buying Bitcoin all the way from 20 grand all the way up to 60 grand, disclosing how much he's bought, and I think he's down like hundreds of million right now based on the current price. But they have conviction and they're not trading on futures and heavy margin, apparently. So more power to them for that.
I mean, there is a usability case for gaming. I think we were talking about that earlier with NFTs. You know, if your are prizes or tokens you're winning within the game, which have value, which you can later trade on a marketplace, sure.
Yeah,
I mean, but for it to, I mean, GameStop's done their own marketplace. They're linking with these other gamers. So, I mean, I could see, you know, let's say you want a trophy or a special weapon on Call of Duty, and that's only unique to you through this NFT that no one else can replicate. And that's the thing that gets traded on the marketplace and sold. And it's, you know, able to be implemented back in the game. I mean, that's the only way I can see it really,
yeah,
you know, a digital asset or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, a picture of a monkey. Yeah,
I mean, the pictures and the artwork, they're just like, look, when you go into the metaverse, you're going to be able to link your accounts and it'll show up in your walls and you can flex. I would say it's more of a flex.
The metaverse was only around because the damn real estate market was so expensive.
Yeah.
Now that the real estate market's gone down, people are looking to live in the real world again. So we'll see when the metaverse actually takes.
No, NFTs in gaming makes so much sense to me, which is weird because the gaming community at its core is so anti-NFT, which throws me off. Like,
I mean, they are using NFTs right now, aren't they? Technically,
there's coming to the point that they're going to start doing it. Some games have announced it to the point that the fan base is like scolded them, like, no way, this is horrible. You guys are just going to milk your communities for even more money, and people are going to lose their. You know what's really going to happen with NFTs is
business.
It's business. Look, if you can play a game and monetize the hours you spent playing it, more power to it. That's something that hasn't existed before. What's going to happen though is you're going to have farms set up in China where you just have people going around collecting these NFT collectibles from within the game and then selling them back on the market and making a shit ton of money that way.
Yeah, but I mean, if they keep coming up with a numerous amount of them, they're not going to retain any value. But if you have the one, like the special weapon or a special skin, you know, that's not going to be replicated over and over again. That will get passed down like actual artwork because it's usable.
Yeah.
And I can see that having value, right? But like, once again, if you just make a piece of artwork and make it an NFT, I mean, what value does it really hold in terms of usability? It's a JPEG.
My favorite thing for NFTs was NFT trophies because they indicate that you won something. They're digitally there. You can kind of show that, hey, I did earn this. I think degrees, like our degrees need to become NFTs. Like, here's my NFT of my degree that, and no, I can't
replicated.
I can't be replicated. I can't really sell it to someone because my name's associated or printed on it. Because that would be another scam that people are just doing degrees and selling them. I think there's still a viable case for NFTs. I don't think NFTs are disappearing. But look, man, the NFT market was flooded with a bunch of trash and garbage. And when you get a market like that that's flooded with so much, 99% of it has to disappear.
Yeah.
So
look, it was a bear market, man. People were just
bull market.
Bull market. It was just people inventing stupid things to spend money on, and NFTs is one of them. Okay, my mom was a crazy stockbroker. Okay, during this market, that's what it was. that's what it came to. Prime example.
That's I forgot. Which I've said this before. Some tycoon in the States when the boy shining his shoes was talking about the same stock he was trading. He pulled all his money out. And that right before the stock market crashed. And that's kind of the idea. When everybody gets into it, everyone's talking about it.
That's
it's probably too good to be true. Yeah.
That sounds like a very Warren Buffett legacy.
No, it's a famous story. It might be a fake story or like a myth, but I don't know if it was. It wasn't Ford. It was one of these business tycoons.
It fits very well into the world of Wall Street, but no, I agree with the sentiment behind that. All right, finally, let's talk about one last big thing. SYL. Sidhus Latest dropped his track yesterday almost? No, day before. and his estate dropped the track. He was supposed to drop the track June 4th, he said originally. And he had a crazy video that he was working on for it that never got made. Thoughts on the track? You guys listen to it? You guys have any opinions on?
My opinion is that from an educational standpoint, it's obviously a bunch of people who didn't know about what happened, might have an inclined interest to find out actual history behind a lot of the divisions in water and so on and so forth. So kind of cool in that concept that he's the music is educating people. But yeah, cool song. I mean, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, it was a great educational tool for a lot of people who probably don't think that this is a big deal or didn't really care about the
Yeah.
issue. I mean, the song itself, I don't think is a banger by any means, but because of the message it carries and because who did it and he passed away, the
Yeah.
weight it carries is huge. So overall, fucking
timing as well.
amazing. Yeah,
Timing as
as
well is
well.
important.
This is
Yeah.
fucking amazing.
Okay, so here's a
Amazing.
question I have for you guys. Does the song hit and have the same impact if he's still alive?
No.
No, I think it's controversial again. You know, I think it's that every time he sings something, it becomes controversial. But the more you listen to the song, is it gonna resonate as much the way that this one has to people? No, but I think people that are inclined about it and interested would say, "Hey, man, that's a good track."
Robbie,
Right.
I think the better way to frame this question is if he didn't die, would this track hit 1 million views in 30 minutes?
No, not at all.
Right,
No.
Shinda? That's what you're trying to
That's
get
kind of
at?
what I'm getting at, yeah.
Yeah,
In
no.
that context, and I'm not saying it's good that he died or by any means anything like that. All I'm saying is the impact of his death made this song resonate so much more to people who... Remember how we started this podcast? We were talking about those fucktards who are like, yo, you married my sister, yo, fuck, you touch it, we're gonna fuck you up. Now play that moosewala, and they're fucking getting Jones and drunk in the back.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
guys would not have listened to this song or even played it once. They'd probably just stop it halfway. But now that moosewala passed
There's-
away, they might not listen to it.
Those-
I understand it, but I
Those same
feel like
guys are still not playing that song. I get what you're saying though.
I
like,
say they
it's-
play
it's-
it. They go through the full playthrough this time, maybe twice, just
opening-
to.
I think that it's
You're
opening
right.
people's ears. It's just not dance music. It has lyrics, it has meaning. Because of his death, they're more willing to re-listen, trying to understand, see if there's a message. The video itself carries a lot of weight, the imagery. So I think, I mean, for all of us who kind of have some kind of knowledge about what's happened, you're like, cool. But if you've never had it, I think it's just, it's going to open people's eyes. Like, oh, I want to find out more about our history. That's it. Right. And that's the way I look at it. Right. If you didn't know about the water situation in India, then I mean,
This might be your first
it's only
introduction
been-
to it.
yeah, it might be. People don't know, man. People don't know Haryana was part of Punjab. Himachal was part. They don't know. Lots of people don't know that. If you ask someone about Himachal and say this is part of Punjab, huh? They're like, no.
I'll be
Haryana,
honest,
they don't know. They just think, oh, that's just Haryana. Punjab's Punjab, right?
I mean, and I'm not gonna I'll kind of put my own ignorance of stuff into perspective. Is when I was talking about this track with people and we were debating, like, because some people said, hey, the Punjabi Suba movement wasn't properly articulated here for so and so reasons. I'm like, yo, but wasn't Punjabi Suba for these reasons to encourage the Punjab to retain a Sikh voice and Sikh boundaries and a Sikh majority vote? And they're like, yeah, but these are the other things that happened. I'm like, oh, I didn't know about case 2 and 3 were trade-offs that didn't happen or concessions that became, very sticking points. Like, it created conversations that I wasn't really having. And it wasn't so much that the song educated me to them. It was the conversations that I had in light of that song with some people about, well, I thought this was what happened. And they're like, no, but here's the nuance that you're missing in this one aspect. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I didn't realize that.
It's
some of that
starting
nuance.
conversations, and that's in itself is huge.
Yeah, and I was
Right.
even thinking, I'm like, there's people who became overnight moosewala fans. Or moosewala, I said that like a white guy. That became Sidhu fans overnight. And the fact that this song came out, they're almost obligated to understand and be able to explain this song so they can, you know, rep
Hey,
that fan. And I think that's a great thing.
You know, his reach is
majority
crazy.
of us became Tupac fans after he was dead.
Yeah, dude.
And we were talking about conspiracy theories. He's alive. He's in Cuba, Jamaica, and you're listening to Machiavelli trying to figure it out.
Dissecting
So I
Machiavelli
don't.
with the chart on the wall, yeah.
I
Yeah, so
had a Gaudi colleague today ask me my weekend plans. I said I'm going to the Jeet concert. I said some Punjabi singer who's gonna be sold out.
you said Punjabi.
Said Punjabi.
Yeah.
Anyways, she's like,
I'm
oh,
Hindi
who?
bold, hey.
And I said Diljit, and she's like, oh, I know who that is. Is he gonna give a shout out to Sidhu R.I.P.? And I was like, whoa, what the fuck? You know? She's like, yeah, everybody knows. I was like,
I'm
crazy.
down.
That's crazy.
I don't know if this is so much about Sidhu's reach per se, but like obviously after he passed away, I was on the YouTube rabbit hole. I don't know if everyone else has run into this guy, but there's this one like Irish guy who's tatted up, looks like a broke man's Post Malone, who like reacts to all of Sidhu's songs, and he's been reacting to Sidhu's songs for the longest time.
No, I have no
No,
idea.
that's a rabbit hole too far from me, my
That's
friend.
too far, yeah.
I went down this guy, and this guy's like, and he didn't just jump on Sidhu after Sidhu passed. He's been doing a few Sidhu songs now, and he's like this Irish guy with Post Malone tattoos on his face, reacting to like the lyrics of Sidhu Moosewala songs, and I'm like, this guy's brilliant. He realizes this song's trending, and he's just gonna hop on and react to it based on lyrics. I'm like, this is chosen. Like when Musa passed away, he did a reaction to songs like crying and stuff. I'm like, this is the craziest reach. But
Well, he's
Yeah.
doing it for views, right? So
he's doing it for views. He's making his YouTube money off it. But I still thought it was kind of cool and kind of creepy and kind of tripped me out. But I'm like, eh. I mean, if you're gonna react, it's not like I'm friggin' reacting to an Iranian singer just to get Iranian views and stuff. You know what I mean?
What I'm interested more in, and with his more of his music as it gets released, is the effect that it's going to have on the Punjabi music scene. Because they're all snakes as it is, anyways. They'll do anything for another dollar. But is it going to change the music? Is it going to, become more lyrically
Conscious.
focused? Yeah, I'm interested. But then let this wedding season pass because we have enough bangers, I think, as it is. And we'll see what happens next year. But I think everyone's going to become a little bit more thoughtful. I just want to see what happens and who's the first one to do it, right? So,
And they're gonna get called out on it. They're like, Salia, when you
yeah,
I was like, yo, I made a joke about this. I'm like, yo, this song is gonna encourage AP Dillon to write a Sanjay Nelson tribute track.
I know. But that'd be huge if he
I
did.
bet you it would sound good though. Probably sound
And
pretty
it'd
good.
be huge because that guy has the ear of Bollywood, man.
Yeah, really? I don't know nothing about these. I do think we
yeah.
gotta give credit though to Diljit for friggin' jumping on this before this even became a thing, because he was doing that Cholera movie before all this was even.
Yeah,
Bro, he made a movie called 1984.
Yeah.
He made a movie called 1984, okay? And he got it playing in India. So
I feel like he is definitely conscious about what's happening around. He seems like a smart dude. I saw the highlights from his Vancouver show, and I'm like, yo, that's fucking dope. The
yeah.
way he did the tributes. It didn't seem too predatory on like just trying to cash in on things. It was very much.
I
I'm
don't.
sure
But that's the
respect.
thing. He doesn't need to cash in on it, right?
Was Diljit always bigger?
This is at another
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like,
Yeah.
Even still.
it's wild. Final closing thoughts on anything?
Not really, yo. I think that's it for me. Gonna check out the Diljit show next week, or sorry, tomorrow. I join Robbie, Dr.
Oh, yeah,
Rob.
right. Look at these guys. We going to concerts together. Not even giving me an invite. Fuck.
Not
Fuck you
together.
guys.
Not together.
I'm taking my daughter if that makes you feel any better.
How old's your daughter?
5. So
That's gonna be
52.
painful. Yeah, that's gonna be painful. I don't pity you. I don't envy you right now.
Dad,
Good luck
I
with
want to go to
that.
the bathroom every second song.
Dad, can we go to the popcorn? I
That's
want
okay.
popcorn
You know-
again. Can I get more nachos?
Look, I was talking about this today with some colleagues, and I was like, I didn't get floor seats on purpose because I didn't see the value in it, so that's fine. Unlike Randy, who had to get them. So if my daughter in the middle of the concert says, "Dad, I want to go home," Let's go home. Let's get some ice cream. I'm good. I don't have that much invested. However, no matter how bad this concert is, Randy has to sit there with a smile on his face.
Both know it's not
That
going
was
to
a
be
good
bad.
concert. He can't leave.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good concert. I've been watching the highlights. I'm like, yo, that seems like it's gonna be some
I know.
pretty epic.
It's gonna be
show.
awesome.
I remember I got a baseball game that I might be taking my kid to. I'm like, I'm pretty sure we're gone after the first inning. But yo, my kid legit bought a baseball glove the other day. He came home, he's like, Papa, I bought a baseball glove. I'm like, you even know what that is? He's like, no. I'm like, let's teach you how to catch. And then I proceeded to try and teach him how to catch. Not the easiest thing.
I'm not taking my kid to a sports match anytime soon because it's a waste of a ticket.
Yeah, I agree. Anything else happening? Next week, we're going to get a recap of all your Diljit stories.
Yeah. Oh, Canada Day.
Oh, shit,
Canada
Canada Day's happening? Fuck. Happy Canada Day, boys.
Yes, sir.
We're Edom Convoy. Let's get it going. Get that truck license.
All right. Time to go.
Freedom.
Time to go comment on some Twitter threads on abortion and Sikhs.
Take it easy, boys.
Later.
All right, peace, man.